Governor, given the ongoing tremendous crisis in Lahaina and the announcement yesterday of Nani Badero stepping down, are you reconsidering your emergency proclamation on housing and the work of the Build Beyond Barriers working group going forward? Is it maybe time to move that off the priority list given the overwhelming situation in Lahaina?
No, to my knowledge, we haven't solved the housing crisis at all yet. We have just as many people that are having a hard time finding a house all across the state and more in Lahaina. I'm gonna keep it going, and whether we do 10 projects or 3 or 20, at least it'll be some housing for people, because it's really the biggest issue that most people face in Hawaii. And I will do all I can to make people trust that the process is going to build housing where they would hope it would go. I hope that people give us a chance. We hadn't approved but one project, which was our public housing works, which everybody knows, for the poorest of our individuals we needed, with Hakeem. Hakeem will take an enhanced role going forward. I'm sad that Nani has given me her letter of resignation and that she'll leave us in a month. I'm sad about the circumstances she left, because this is a very good person. We will probably take an opportunity to reflect on the emergency proclamation on housing and improve it. I will extend it. We'll improve it by putting more opportunities for input and participation, but it has to be done in a respectful way. Can't be combative and threatening like it occurred for Nani. I do want to make some points very clear, which we should have made from the start. It's meant to be affordable housing. It's meant to be housing along the line of the rail, for example, is one of the main areas. It's meant to be housing that was already approved, but just had gotten stuck. I think she made that point quite eloquently many times. This was never meant to create a conflict between us and an environmental group. It was never meant to suggest people couldn't have input. In fact, in many cases, people were going to have more input than the normal process went. But people are so hung up on picking camps these days that that's what happened. Now, things got really tough when the tragedy occurred on Maui, because people began to conflate our work with the emergency proclamation on housing and what we would do in Maui. We have zero inclination to do anything on Maui except what the people of Maui and Lahaina want. In fact, Nani even pulled some of those proposals back out of respect, to them. But there were already so many people that felt this sense that they were going to have something taken from them. No matter how many times I said I'm going to have the Attorney General stop someone else from buying the land, no matter how many times I said, if you want to pause as long as you want, pause. We'll build elsewhere to help people get housing. But people, by that time, they were really in a very heated state. I have not named a housing czar yet. I may not name one. I might do this by committee so that people can work together rather than having someone at the tip of the spear trying to, challenge them. I just want to say that we put out an olive branch to people right now, right in this moment, to everybody, to people who didn't trust the process, to the conflicts that arose. If people seek peace, we will, I'm sure, find a way to accept it. But don't think the worst of an organization that believes in climate change, that believes we should be careful about our conservation lands. We're an administration that wants to fund all these things. We just have 50,000 too few homes. That's where I'm still coming from.
You will be extending the emergency proclamation. I think it's next week, right? Is it?
Yes.
Is it okay?
It's just for clarity. Emergency proclamations can only, in each increment, be 2 months. My feeling is we need a year to do some approvals of some decent projects, and then we can let that thing sunset. And what I would hope is whatever the best policies we come up with through the emergency proclamation, then get ensconced in policy, just like whatever we do in this emergency period on fires and environment, that the legislature will then continue to fund.